Guy, you're looking very summery today for a crisp winter day.
This is what they call a golfing shirt, I believe.
It, it,
Not that I
do you
golf,
golf?
but
Do you
no, I
golf?
don't. No.
It's almost like, do you rotate the stock of your seasonal clothes? In other words, does that shirt get worn the same amount in the middle of winter as it does
Yeah,
in the summertime?
100%. I'm not a rotate and serve guy. I listen. It would be one of these days we should do a podcast from my closet because all the hangers have to face the same way and things have to be
Ah,
folded the proper way. It's pretty bad. It's actually somewhat anal. But in terms of
would not have thought that. Yeah.
seasons, there are no seasons with me. I pulled this shirt out just to put it on this morning, and here I am.
Seasons, great tune by Chris Cornell on the Singles album. And you mentioned rotating. I mean, let's talk about social media and the rotation.
I want to talk about that,
but you're not ready.
I am ready. I am ready.
Okay.
No, I want folks to understand something. What do you do on Sundays? And don't just say go to. What specific thing do you do on Sundays?
I teach Sunday school.
You teach Sunday school.
Yeah.
And I'm not suggesting you should know this because I sort of knew what it was from, but so Luke 12:48. Luke 12:48. I'm going to read it. Okay.
So that's not the guy with the colored afro behind when we're kicking field goals in the stands?
No, but that's like very 1980s, that stuff. Remember that one cat that was always.
Okay, but when you finally realized that there was a guy with a colored fro referencing John, whatever, didn't you find that a little freaky and felt like you had been proselytized and nobody told you?
I mean, I don't know. I can't.
You know what that
spell
word means, by the way?
Yeah, no, I can't spell it, and I don't know what it means, but I felt that way. But here you go. You ready? You're going to like this. Luke 12:48. From everyone who has been given much, much will be demanded. And from the one who has been entrusted with much, much more will be asked. And I bring that up because
I know who you're talking about. You're talking about the man with the hood. The man with the hood.
The hoodie.
Yeah. Yeah.
So talk to me about Facebook. I mean, here it is. Facebook said, I think it's trading 246 by the time this goes on air, as they say. The lowest levels we've seen since mid-September. The high in Facebook was, I think, 303 or something in early September. Look, you say all along, I mean, the stock has not been trading well. They report at the end of the month. My sense is earnings are going to be ridiculous in a good way. Yep. But, what's your take? Like, I gave you Luke 12:48. Give me a little riff here on Facebook.
Well, I think the trust that we've given these folks, not only with our data and our pictures of our favorite golf shirt in the middle of winter, but also the trust that we've had in them essentially managing our relationships and the messaging around them, when in fact a lot of people really, in the same way, when you trust somebody, you kind of let them do their thing and you believe it's going to be right. And look, social media as we knew it 10 years ago is not only gone because the innocence is gone, but the breadth and the scope of it have never been greater. And the obviously commercially, the way the world functions and really transacts is through social media. So we're not getting rid of it. The power is proven, but and 2.7 billion people don't lie. Facebook's not going anywhere, but there's a lot of people that are turned off. So when it was our data that was the commodity, the product that they were producing that they first just couldn't protect, right? That was the first part of this lack of trust. But now, damned if you do, damned if you don't, because I'm not sure I want Facebook to be the arbiter of what should be said out there. I hate not knowing what the right outcome is for censorship, because I don't want 5 big tech companies determining what I see or read or hear. But that's where we are. And I don't think, for guys that have always been 3 steps ahead of us, they've been 3 steps ahead of this problem and they did nothing to try to avert it. That's my view.
No, and you're right. You mentioned The End of the Innocence, of course, a great Don Henley album, I believe.
Do you think Henley would have been as big as a solo artist? I know this is kind of a tough thing, but do you think his solo work was that great?
No.
I don't. I mean, that Down at the Sunset Grill song sucks.
No, I will tell you, the best solo artist out of that whole group is Joe Walsh. I mean, he's got you know,
But
he's
Joe-
got the chops.
But Joe Walsh was a solo artist coming into that band. In other words, they needed to bring that big guitar in to kind of balance out Felder's country trimmings. And of course, you know, anyway, we can get our Eagles
parts.
breakdown.
Listen,
Yeah.
the
Gary Ledden,
no question about it. I mean, those guys individually, okay, collectively, unbelievable. And I think everybody wants to go do their own thing in the bands. I totally get it. They should have just the Eagles just run with
the
it.
guy I
And
feel worst first for is in the end of that Eagles documentary, Timothy B. Schmidt, who looks like a skeleton with skin stretched over him. By the way, he's almost despondent. Like just when I'd finally made it into this group, now meanwhile, Timothy B, I bet when the books are written, he'll have been an Eagle about as long as anybody other than Henley. It's
interesting,
crazy.
right? And
what band did he come out of? What band did he come?
Poco, as did Randy. Listen, I was just going to say to you, I mean, the Eagles poached both their bass guitar players from Poco. The other one being, let's see if you can pull this one out.
He's the guy
saying "Take It to the Limit," I believe.
Yeah, not that any of us will do, but he didn't age well.
No,
I mean, he. I mean, I don't like that was weird. Like when I saw him in that.
I'm gonna throw you some initials. First name gives it away.
Right.
First name gives it away. RM.
Randy.
Yeah, Randy.
Randy. Not Randy Mantooth.
No,
he was not
Emergency. Mantooth. No,
Randy Mantooth.
Meisner.
The voice of God dropping that.
See,
in.
The thing is, I'm so much better than that. I know that, and here I'm giving you, Bernie Ledden and breaking out some deep Eagles chops on that, and I couldn't give you Randy Meisner.
Randy Meisner, who left the band too early. He could have stayed with the. Who knows what's going through his mind?
Well, he had kind of that Steve Perry thing. Remember when Steve Perry of Journey couldn't get up on stage because he kind of just it was too much for him. Like he wasn't like he had stage fright. He just couldn't do it anymore. And I think Randy at some point just felt like like he was living a lie or a charade or something, like the rock and roll life. I wouldn't have had that issue. I would not have had that issue. But anyway, Don Henley, this is the end of the innocence. Nice job by you. And yeah, look, I think there's something to be said for that, because I think truly most people log into their Facebook account to keep up with a college roommate or to show someone a picture of their kids, not to manipulate messaging of whatever it is on either side. I'm not here to take sides. I'm here to say that everyone has been caught in the middle.
The problem with Facebook right now is everybody's pissed off at them. They can't win no matter what they do right now. They're screwed. And you wonder if it comes home to roost in terms of the company. I'm not wishing any ill will on anybody, but what I'm saying is they've effectively pissed everybody off. There's nothing they can do to get that back. And you wonder, and I bring this up on Fast Money from time to time. Again, I'm not suggesting I'm right, but if they being Facebook, fall under the auspices of this ESG investing wave, which is taking over, to me, that's the existential risk, and that's what you should be watching. All that said, earnings at the end of the month are going to be ridiculous in a good way. You just wonder if the market's going to look past that. It's going to be fascinating. I think Facebook, to me, this is the most interesting earnings release and subsequent price action we've seen in a decade.
Whoa. I mean, talk about hyperbole, man. Hold on. The most interesting price action and earnings release we're going to have seen in a decade. It's a big bar, man. Big bar. It's like Fosbury. That's Fosbury territory.
And as you know, Dick Fosbury is a huge fan of Fast Money.
Huge fan of Fast Money. And he's a huge fan of Commercial Break. As I am of you, Guy. I'll see you tomorrow.